Hey everyone, today I came out to do an update on a culvert pipe that we unclogged during the summertime, and to my surprise, the beavers have completely plugged it up once again. And I don't think the ice on the pond is very thick, so we're gonna smash it out of the way today, and we're gonna unclog that culvert and get that thing drained back. It's not a primary pond, it's a secondary pond for the beavers, meaning they don't live there. And that also means, because they don't live there, it won't hurt the beavers by removing it over the winter time. They're not relying on it for shelter, and they're not relying on it as a food source. So we're gonna go ahead and get that out of there, because right now the road is flooded as a result to it. As soon as we unclog the culvert pipe, we can get that water to drop down quite a bit. Then we'll come back in a few hours and unclog the secondary flow culvert. There are two culvert pipes there. We'll see how it goes. My goal is to get them both open like I did in the summertime, and because it's winter time, they're not going to be able to build it back because they rely on the water to be able to float over debris and sticks to be able to build it. They cannot build it back this time of year. This road is wild. Right now we're in a muddy area because yesterday was a little bit warm and this hasn't yet frozen up. I drove on some parts of the road today. I was thinking about throwing the tire chains on. They were so bad, but I just went over them really slowly. Never had any slipping issues. Here we are. The water level is way up in this little pond, and look at all the water crossing the road. That's a good flow. Back in the summertime when we unclogged this, there was not this much water. It's because it's been rainy out lately. In the summertime, there was barely a trickle going by. We unclogged it, creating a massive blast, but as soon as the water receded, there wasn't that much flowing. So we're gonna park over here. There's a good parking area. You see what I mean by these sheets of ice? There's certain areas you can't find dirt to put your wheels on. It's all ice. But I'm pretty sure the ice is kind of dirty. It's like covered in sand, so it's not the most slippery. All right, so we're gonna park right over here. Look at that, that's flooded out too. That wasn't flooded last time we came here. This is a trail where people have fun on ATVs. You see it just goes right up that really steep hill. So I'm gonna just park right here. This is good. We're not really blocking anything. All right, let's gear up, get the big high boots on, get the rake out, all that kind of cool stuff. All right, everyone, I'm all geared up. Today is pretty chilly for something like this. I've done it much colder, but it's around 18 degrees right now. Yesterday, it actually got to 52. That's why the roads really cleared up. These roads, tire chains were mandatory yesterday for driving out here. Got really dirty putting them on, having to crawl underneath the vehicle. So here's the culvert pipe. You see, pretty big, 2 feet. You see all the iron oxidizing bacteria growth. That shows you it hasn't ran in a good amount of time. I haven't been here to check on it in 3 months. This is the culvert pipe right here, right where that pole is, right around there somewhere. This ice is nothing. We're gonna simply break that out of the way. All this water here can fit through that one pipe. We'll get to see this thing all start cracking and shattering. Oh, they made it easy for us to get to number 2. Very easy. Let's set up camera number 2 and then we'll start opening this up, see what we can do. Woo! Alrighty everyone, camera number 2 is rolling. I always make that noise to align the cameras, and I always leave the noise in the video to prove that it's actually lined up, because sometimes people don't believe it takes so long for certain things to go through a pipe. All right, let's figure out where this pipe is. I don't know if it's after or before the pole. Don't remember. That's a good sign. We're already finding debris. I found the pipe. Now we just got to get to the end of it. I found it. Right here. I already hear it raging. We got it open a little bit. Let's get more of that ice out of here. Good enough. Where is it again? Right there. Got a whirlpool going. I'm having trouble seeing, that's what the issue is. Visibility is bad down there. I could do it really fast if I could use my hands. Feel around. Not deep enough to be a danger, not really. We got good suction. It's actually sucking the ice down. Look at that. Yeah. Water is already slowing down going across the road. That's so cool. It's beginning to suck the ice in. We got it going good. I'm gonna keep chipping away at it. That is so cool. Look at it sucking the icebergs down. I can literally feel it in the ground through my feet. Those ice chunks banging against the inside of the culvert I'm standing above. Wow. Big whirlpool. That's pretty awesome. That's amazing. Just this will get it off the road in no time. All right, let's Let's chip away at it a little more. I looked across the road, looking really good. We'll get it open a little more. Then we'll do our finishing up once we're done. It's hungry for more ice. Watch it eat these big chunks. It can't have this one. That's a little too big. Oh, but it took it anyways. Wow, that power just sucked that big ice chunk down. Incredible. Alrighty everyone, we got this one flowing really good. I can already hear the ice cracking around here. I love seeing it suck in these giant chunks. Is it gonna get that big one right there? Let's see. It's getting some small ones. I wonder if you can see those coming out the other end or if there's too many rapids to tell. Is it gonna get this giant one? Oh! Wow! I felt that through the ground. It just took that big chunk. That is amazing. The water across the road is already reduced by more than half. Take a look at this. More than half of the water has already gone. And look at the other side where camera number 2 is. Got a lot of water coming out of here. So much of it. All right, everyone. I'm gonna move you over to the secondary flow culvert and we're gonna start chipping away at that one. This one actually has a good amount of water trickling through it. I'm gonna go move camera number 2 over here and then we'll get started. Hello, camera number 2. Let's pick you up and move you over. Got some good flow coming out of that one. So now I'm gonna move over here. This is where camera number 2 is gonna be set up. And wow, since the last time we were out here, they did trimming. Everything here seems to be pretty nicely trimmed. Alrighty, let's start tearing this beaver dam apart. If we can. Oh, that ice isn't that thick. You heard that big crunch? That's because the water's reducing. The water's no longer fully supporting it. So where's the pipe? This one should be actually pretty easy, everyone. I'm gonna get what I can by hand. Look at that, the beaver dam is all frozen together. That's a good thing this time. Not frozen too much. Can actually move it out of the way without an issue. all frozen together. Whoa. That one was way into the road. Oh good, this one acted like a pry bar. Now this whole section of dam is loose. Great. We peeled off the frozen part. Now the rest of it is just mud. We'll get this thing out of there. Real nice. Look at all that. Almost ready to start using the rake. Another big piece of frozen dam. We're picking up current. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Looks like I'm going to be getting muddy on this job. They're making things so cheap these days. When I opened these gloves this morning, a bunch of the fingers were stuck together from the manufacturing process. There's one in there wedged really good. Look down inside there. I can't get that out yet. We gotta move other stuff. Here comes a big blast. We got a lot going. Now I gotta break more ice. I gotta be standing out there to do this correctly. And it's starting to get hot out. I gotta take this jacket off. I'm starting to sweat too much. This cold weather is good for working. I just gotta get working. Get the blood pumping. You hear ice cracking all over the pond. That's a big old log. And another big log coming out of there. Beavers can move some big things. Another big crack. All right, everyone, that's about it that I can do until this water drains back a couple feet and I can actually see what I'm doing down there. Got to wash off a little bit, then I'll show you what's going on. My foot just really helped. Wow. I feel excavator damage on my feet. Look at that big chunk. It went through. That's what I tried to do. I was gonna see if it would block it real fast. Then I could break it out of the way. All right, smashed it right through. I gotta be careful on that excavator damage that I don't cut my big high boots. Look at it flow now. Now we can get some more of that out of there. That's still beaver dam. That's why it's sloping. And I see a lot more ice that's gonna want to come through. Here we go. Woo-hoo! Boom! Oh, it went through in one piece! Oh, that must look awesome over there. Look at that, the ice is like 3 inches or so. Oh, it took another giant one. Go on, ice chunks. That is so satisfying. Big ice chunks going through. Now I can work here. Make sure this thing can get the water down to its max. Very silty, I'm sinking right there. Nothing got clogged. Nope, still completely open. Grinding it up and it's taking it away. Oh my gosh, the water stopped going across the road. It worked. Unfortunately, I ruined my big high boots. I feel a slow leak. They did me well. They lasted me about a year, and I do a lot of crazy stuff with them. That's okay. It was definitely worth the $160 for them. But now that they're starting to flood, it'll start to work like a wetsuit. Unless it's up here, it'll start weighing me down, trying to push me over. But I'm gonna keep at it. I think we're gonna call it a day on this one. We probably don't even have to do anything there when we come back later to check on it. When I officially leave, I'm gonna leave a time-lapse camera here. Look at this. Whoa, did you hear that? Now let's look at the other one, the primary flow culvert, which is deeper in the ground. During normal times, culvert number 2 is only supposed to help during big floods, or if this one gets plugged. Let's go grab camera number 2 again, and I'll work on this a little more, and then maybe we don't have to do any more unclogging later. But I'm gonna set a time-lapse camera up, and we'll be here at the end of the day or tomorrow. Hey everyone, on camera 2, look at all that water. We got a ton of it going. Yeah, I'm just taking my gloves off so I can do adjustments. We got a ton of water coming out of secondary flow culvert and a ton of water coming out of the primary flow culvert. Look at all this erosion. By the time we come here later, that should be completely stopped. Leave camera number 2 right here. All right, everyone, let's see if I can do anything here with my big high boots. There's not that much pressure in the pipe. Not that bad. Excavator damage a little bit. That's definitely how I punctured the boots. That was a cool noise. I think this one is basically open. Yeah, due to the excavator damage, the bottom 6 inches or so of the pipe, I don't think that's able to be opened. I'm definitely helping, but I'm just saying it's basically done. I'm wiggling around some sticks so it can pull them through. There is a good amount of pressure, but this pipe doesn't have the depth to actually pull me through, unless I was to lay down and actually let it pull me. Yeah, it does feel like a mouth of a vacuum cleaner, but not to a scary extent. That's what you call differential pressure. If it's deep enough in the right circumstance, it can kill you. Suck you in or hold you underwater against the pipe. All right, that's about it. We're gonna lose probably 2.5 more feet of water before this is over. Lots more awesome cracking. When we come back, all the ice will have settled down like a bowl, except the edges where stuff is supporting it. And this is 3-4 inch ice. Not much is gonna support that. That'll pull down little trees and stuff. I love watching ice get sucked in. That's just so satisfying. I literally want to play with this for a little while. Boom, never to be seen again. Down into the hole. This is way too much fun. Ah, that's gonna clog it, yeah. But that is sure awesome. Wow. It took it. It took it. I heard it banging through the pipe. Awesome. This ice is strong enough to hold me, look at that. That's why it's so hard to break. Because usually 3 inches of ice is considered when it becomes safe for a human to go across. I don't trust it. I usually want to wait for it to be more like 6. Because if I'm capable enough to smash my way through it, I don't want to go out there. Here's some more chunks getting sucked in. I really wish I had my axe with me, my fire axe. I'd smash so much of this out of the way for fun. Here's a big chunk. Suck them right in. Gigantic whirlpool. Awesome. Right on in. Right? Nope. It got stuck. There we go, sucking them all in. So I keep forgetting, only in front of the culvert I can stand. If I go any further, I'm up to like my chest in water, because this is all built up by the beavers to plug this pipe. When it was installed, it probably tapered deep really fast, but beavers built up all this area with silt to put a dam on top of. And next time they come out with an excavator, that's really what they should remove. All of that stuff. All right, that was fun, but we're gonna call it a day. I'm gonna head right out to the store where I bought these boots. It's a hunting and camping store. Hopefully they have another in my size. And these ones, I'm gonna try to fix them, and if I can fix them, they'll be my backup for next time this happens. I don't even know where the hole is. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna dip them inside soapy water, seal up the end and put an air hose in it, put it underwater, and that's how I intend on finding the leak, just like you do with a tire. Put soap all over it and pressurize it. This thing is flowing real good. All right, everyone, it's been about 15 minutes and there are so many violent cracks happening right now. Because this pond, it goes back here maybe 200 feet or so until there's another road right there with a little bridge. There's a lot of cracking going on. And back there, see all the little thickets and stuff? Back there is probably where there's going to be a lot of ice standing, you know, where you can look underneath it. It's so cool where it stays suspended with the water gone. And there is no beaver lodge. Today I double checked it. Last time I did it, I looked around. Of course, that was summertime. I could have missed it. But also, last time I did it, it took them weeks to build it back, which tells me it's a secondary pond. If they were living here, it would have been done that night. Here is my camera. It's gonna make us a 10-second video clip every 5 minutes for the rest of the day. And then we're gonna put that all into one video and speed it up. That's how you make a good time lapse. Look at the trees. Lots and lots of beaver damage. They're preparing to take down some big trees to build more dams. See that? There's nibble marks on so many of the trees around here. All right, we're gonna go take a look at what's going on over here. You can see the white area there being suspended by the trees. We've already dropped almost a foot, and we're gonna drop 2 more feet. So here is secondary flow. Still a ton of water going through it. Not as much as before, but now that it's dropped a bit, you can see all the excavator damage in there and how I wrecked my big high boots. And over here, there's zero flow going across the road now, and that puddle's on its way out, sinking into the ground. Oh, look at this. This one's not doing too good because this is blocking it. I didn't leave that there. That must have just got loosened up. Wow, that's in there tight. So much pressure's holding that. All right, I just used this big stick and I just gave it a little shove. It moved sideways and got sucked through. It really picked up by doing that. Look where the water was trickling across. Now there's nothing else going across. There's little puddles that got to sink into the ground. I'll show you the icy road conditions on my way out of here and why I almost had to chain up. It may be only 18 degrees out, but the sun got power. Look at this. The ice is melting that's in this full sun. If you guys remember me talking about how I was having issues with my tire chains, I resolved it kinda. I was unable to tension them as much as I could with the rubber tensioners they came with, but I found if I bought rubber, basically a bungee cord, but it's just a piece of rubber with 2 hooks. It's made for holding down tarps. I use a bunch of those on the wheel. Works perfect. It doesn't start knocking until I get up near 30. So that's a big improvement. Look at this. This didn't freeze nearly as much. See how thin it is? That's no 3 inches. That's because it rained a whole bunch the past couple days and it collected here. And it only had about 1 day to freeze, while that over there had like a week prior to the warm-up yesterday. This only had probably last night. So I'm not gonna walk out here. But once I get my new big tall boots, I'm gonna have fun breaking this. I love walking through ice like this. So I left my flooded boots hanging over the top of the car so they could drip out before I put them away. And when I went to pick them up, they were frozen solid because it's so cold out. It's like a big, hard, crinkly piece of fabric. That's what it was. It was frozen. People always ask me how I can deal with these cold temperatures. Well, I'm used to it. I run hot. I love the cold. I really don't know how people in the South can deal with the heat, because I wouldn't be able to do that. I guess I'm just used to it. I love it up here. Okay, look at this ice right here. This is a big sheet of ice. It's pretty patchy, but there's a few scary parts that I'll show you in a moment. I'm gonna do a brake test. You see, I couldn't stop that fast even though I slammed the brakes on. The only reason it wasn't worse is because of the studded tires. That really does help on these roads at slow speeds. It really does. But I realized they're basically useless if the ice is wet. That's why I had to get chains. If it's a day where it's melting, it's a disaster. And I could tell nobody's been on these roads in such a long time. Well, they haven't been on them since yesterday because all the puddles I'm driving through, I'm the first vehicle to break through all the ice. All right, this is the scary part now. I just went up a slight hill. We're still going up a slight hill. This entire road here is very slippery. If I get out of the car and I'm not careful, I'm gonna fall right down on my butt. And the car would too if I didn't have the studs on the tires. There's some areas you don't get the little dirt patches to stay on. Like right now, there's dirt patches, but you go around the wrong corner like this, there's really not much good traction at all. Look at this part of the road. It's all mud, and mud is slippery too. This part really thawed out in the sun. There might even be some groundwater activity keeping it warm, so it probably never froze up since yesterday either. So much mud. This kind of road is pretty slippery. Take a look at this road. Whole thing is a sheet of ice. Right now I'm traveling back to get that trail camera and see how everything has receded throughout the day. All right, everyone, pulling back up on the beaver swamp. All right, everyone, so we're now back. It's been about 5 hours or so. The sun's about to go down in about an hour. I went to the store. They don't even have those waders anymore. They only had size 3 and 5. I don't even know anyone with feet that small, so that's probably why those are still there remaining. So I couldn't even get a cheap pair of them either to get me through this time. But I was able to find them, the same exact good pair I have, for $20 cheaper on Amazon. They should arrive on Friday, and I'll be set. I love cracking ice like this. It's always so much fun, especially when you know you can't fall more than a few inches. I've been here in the summertime, and I know exactly how deep this puddle gets. All right, this is not as cool looking as I thought it was going to be. One time we drained a body of water like this with a lot of ice, but I guess there was a bunch of big rocks out there slightly below the water, so it got hung up on them all, and it looked like this around all the rocks. So we lost a lot today. Look at this. See how the areas where it's suspended by trees? So the secondary flow culvert, look at that, has just about shut off. What's this? Wow, look at that gigantic clam. Got to get this guy back in the water. I'm going to throw it over there where it's deeper in just a moment. Look at this. Look at this big hunk. Yeah, let's get that out. Kind of heavy. Maybe there's an angry beaver waiting for me inside this culvert, waiting to bite my hand. Oh, it's coming out. There we go. That was in there probably a long time. All right. We got that flowing a little more. Don't want this clam to freeze. It was in the sun, so I think it's okay. No more clams. It's a big one too. It's like a whole meal there. All right, we got to find a place to slip it back underneath into the deep water. There we go. And this one is still taking a lot of water. What do you think? Is this matching the amount that was going across the road when we first started? I think so. So I think this is probably the lowest it's going to get from what we did. beavers can't really build back. Although this might be one of those rare circumstances where the beaver might actually use some of the debris I threw up to try to plug it, since they can't get it from anywhere else. They only reuse material when they can't find anything else. And considering they can't float anything over, maybe. It is a possibility. I don't think so, but it could very well happen. I want to walk back there. I want to show you the swamp where it's all hung up on the bushes like I knew it would. And then at the very end, I'll show you whatever that trail camera got. Look at this. Puddles gone. No more water going across. In fact, it's 2 feet below the road now. Not a foot above it, because this is a little beaver dam along the edge of the road. A lot less flow than before. That's a good thing. Even though not much interesting happened here, I think the time lapse will still be good. Next time I do something like this, I'm gonna put the camera over where I know it's gonna get hung up on stuff. See what I mean? If it can get hung up on anything, if it's a rock or a tree, it will, and it looks pretty cool. Look at that, it looks like it even broke some of the small ones, because that weighs a lot. 4+ inches, because the further away it is from the culvert pipe, the thicker it seems to be. Look at that, it's like a pyramid. Here we are at the end of this swamp. This must have been loud when all this was cracking. You know what this is over here? This is a gigantic beaver dam, like 4 or 5 feet tall. And that's where the beavers live. They are fine for the winter. That dam poses no threat to the road at all. They can keep that forever. Right here is the active beaver swamp. As you can see, there is no water drop back here at all. They are good for the winter. Nice big pond. Beavers always like to have secondary ponds, extra water storage and stuff. That's what they do. That's what this was down here, the one affecting the road. It's always a relief when it's not their primary pond, because if it's their primary pond, they are just going to keep clogging it every single night. And it also would negatively affect them in the wintertime when they can't reclog it. But it being a secondary pond, last time we drained this, it took them a month to figure out the water was gone and actually come back down here. Or I guess it wasn't on their priorities. Oh my gosh, everyone, despite the temperature still being below freezing, that sun has so much power. You remember earlier when I was over here unclogging this, the pieces of ice were like 4 inches thick. Look at them now. It's like an inch. And look at the ones that all got stuck up here along the edge. Look at that, how much that melted. It was all like 4 inches when we started. The stuff still sitting on the water is still pretty thick. Everything stuck up along the edge is still 4 or 5 inches. But everything here in the sun, it melted. I can't believe it. I'm looking around in here just in case. And it's a good thing I did. I've already found one mussel or clam, whatever it is, right here. Look at this. Massive. Oh, it's alive. Look at that. It just went in. It just went in. That thing's huge. It's so pretty. It's a good thing I came back to look for these guys. Well, or this guy. I've only found one. I'm going to keep looking around in here until it gets dark, because I feel like more of them may have got blasted out without me knowing. What do you guys think? Were they hibernating or just hiding? What is that? Why they would have been in the dirt? Because I believe this was probably in the dirt when I was agitating it with the rake and it got sent through. So I'm just looking around. If there are any more and I don't find them, it's probably going to become raccoon food, which I guess is good for the raccoon, not good for the clam. So here's what we're going to do with this guy. What do you guys think? Could something like this be kept as a pet? Like a snail, since it kind of crawls around like a snail? I've always wanted to keep one as a pet. I don't know if it would do good or not in captivity. So here we go. Into a deep area. Sun sure does look beautiful going through these trees. So the ice is thickest here in the middle, away from the movement of the water going over the dam and the movement over here going onto the road. All right, I'm about to pick up this camera and I'll show you that. I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching and have a great day.